access to, it's like everything that's on a particular record. You say, I want you to make me a rhyme that doesn't exist, but in the style of
We are returning you to the front. Earn this.
And basically, you as the human producer, you get the first one, oh, boy, that's whack, that's whack, that's whack. Oh, that one's good. Right? Because ChatGPT doesn't have an ego about it.
Laid his ass the fuck down.
It doesn't get upset.
Good looks, little bro.
If you say, yo, that's whack, it doesn't. It just will do it, right?
Wrong way, buddy.
Not cheesy, niggas. The fuck? Go kill somebody else. The fuck?
Each time you say the rhyme is whack, it's great because you're trained it.
Marked remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down. Time for vengeance. You're redeploying.
A collaborator on a level. It's not, doesn't have ego. It's not like, remember,
gas is inbound.
It's the argument. In fact, each time you say, you know what, that's not right.
Order support incoming!
So this thing is happening. We have a finite set of
Oh, drop it into the air.
Never go.
Come on!
Finite records, finite number of words, finite number of subjects. It's a way, it's a finite number of whether you wrote it from the first person or third person perspective.
You got a loadout drop inbound.
So the chat has all that. And
Leave alone! There's like 2 people here!
That's weird, because, see, first
Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest of them.
Like a memory bank all over the chest, right? It can go like that. This is not like that. You just tell it the rules of chess. And literally what it's doing is that it's doing trial and error. You make a move. It's not.
You're back on station.
It's not looking.
Go get after it.
It's not looking. It's not. What it's doing is trial and error, and going, oh, this, and when you okay, that it's doing it in real time. And that's the imagine this.
Valiant effort. Keep your head up. Return to base for debrief. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
It could also have access to everything the critics wrote about those records. Right. So it could have access to reactions to those things. That's the thing that people have to grasp. It says, okay, so how do the critics respond to da-da-da-da? So it's not only taking into account the words, it's taking into account the reactions. And can average out what was reacted to and make up a song that didn't exist, that a critic that wrote about it would dig.
Right.
And then it presents it to you, and then you go, oh, that's whack. Or you go, man, that's the thing about these things. It's the problem.
It's almost like it's what we wish we could do.
Tell me you're in LA without telling me you're in LA, but only using Uber Eats orders. I'll go first with this classic duo, chicken and waffles, from an iconic establishment. The chicken is so crispy and tender, and the waffles are buttery and perfectly sweet. If you know this place, you know I couldn't skip the sides. Creamy mac and cheese, perfectly seasoned greens, and obviously cornbread. You can't go wrong. Uber Eats makes it so easy to get my favorite food. In just a few taps, I can get exactly what I'm craving delivered to my door. Craving tacos? LA is the city, and this spot has the best birria tacos. Juicy meat, melty cheese, and of course, the famous birria consomme. Next, treat yourself to the legendary LA chili dog. This 9-inch hot dog overflowing with chili and onions, ketchup and mayo is my favorite. It's so delicious. Traffic and parking is always crazy here, so I love ordering from Uber Eats and getting it delivered right to my door. I know exactly where my food is and can track every step on the app. It saves me so much time when life gets busy and I want to treat myself. Comes in clutch every time. And there's always room for dessert. We got a bunch of our favorite pastries from this amazing Cuban
That's it. It's not about, it's kind of, how can I put it? It's the problem isn't when it's whack and corny. That's not it. It doesn't care. And you can tell it, you're whack, you're corny. It doesn't care about that. Right. The issue is when you go, yo, that's dope. That's where the issue is. The issue is when the thing that's going to go down with artificial artists or what have you, it's not about when it's cheesy. It's about when it's dope. It's about when it is actually moving. Years ago, there was a book of poetry back in the 80s. This has been going on a long time. There was a program called Ractor, and Ractor was, and this was like a syntextual language. It wasn't even a language model. It was kind of like using just kind of, rules of grammar, and was coming up with these things. It was kind of very, very, very random. We didn't know. It wasn't contextualizing it at all. It was just word salad. And basically, there was a book that was put out called The Policeman's Beard. The Policeman's Beard is Instructive. And it's a book of poetry by this program, Ractor. And I was looking at the thing, and I was like, okay, some of this is just abstract, it's nonsense. And then there's a poem in this book that almost brought me to tears. It was about loneliness. I had to remind myself that this was just a program spitting out words randomly. And it is nothing. This is the 80s, so this is nothing. I mean, ChatGPT 1 destroys it, right? But the thing is, as the person interacting with it, as the person making meaning about it, I'm responding to it. Because for some reason, this combination of words, and I'm making it mean something. Right. So now, many years later, what's happening now is...
Welcome to the DMZ. Explore secure intel and look to gain access to new missions.
It'll be moving.
Enemy threat is high, so expect contact.
Right. Much greater. And some things can be hackneyed, and you know when it's hackneyed. You know when you're looking at a movie, and the movie is basically, you can tell, you see the characters, and you know, the guy that's the best friend, you know that's the guy that's going to stab him in the back by the third act, whatever. Director and actor, that's the thing, right? The scripts, so many scripts, cover things.
Yes. Especially nowadays.
You know what I mean? And these human beings, the structure is there, but you're not thinking about it. You don't think about the structure. Suddenly, you're just involved.
Ultra One and Squad Leaders down. You are taking effective fire.
Pressure relationships, but it's the same process.
Taking effective fire.
When a character, when characters really think the character's going to make a mistake, right? And you.
Activity has increased in the area. Keep your eyes open.
Of what this area is. The question is, do you think there are any more original ideas? Does anything just come out of the ether that has never been done before?
I think there's the idea. There's nothing new under the sun. Like people say that. I don't think that's true. I think there are things. Automobile. The introduction of the automobile. Life will not change the planet.
The wheel.
Right. Because there was no... The other thing, too, is there are also synchronicities inside of like something like armor. There's armor for people to earn. There's armor for there are, there's swords and spears and things. They evolved, almost around the same time.
Requesting medical for
the
you now.
utility is different, but the development is the same because it's the minds. We're all, the botanist Terence McKenna says, that really is psychedelic. Much like the reason that we leapt forward is because of psychedelic mushrooms.
Right back in the fight.
Sudden shift.
Back in the fight.
Because evolution goes really slowly, but
I'm back on
occasionally
station.
sudden shifts. There's sudden changes.
Dropping here.
I don't know why.
Is this the stoned ape theory?
Stoned ape,
a
right.
mushroom and that kind of like advanced the evolution of the human brain.
Yeah, it's kind of
forebrain where we can see time.
Well, one of the things, one of the ideas is that the actual original sin is consciousness. It's really self-awareness. That we suddenly were, snap. It's kind of like when you're a kid, and every child has this moment. The moment when you realize you're going to die. The moment when
Ultra One,
it hits
ISR's
you.
located target Bullfrog on your tag
where
map.
maybe it's
Transporting a
a
valuable
pet,
weapon case. You're clear to
or,
engage.
Something happens to a parent or sibling, or maybe it's not even that. It's just suddenly you get creeped out, and you go, oh,
Stay away from this vehicle. Will be
and
destroyed.
it hits you that you're mortal. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that is a particular moment in anyone's life. It's terrifying, but it also catapults you into another way of thinking about your presence, about the fact that you're here. The idea, part of the thing is our brains are also, we're in our bodies, that like Oliver Sacks.
Love Oliver Sacks.
And Oliver Sacks, he explains we feel ourselves inside of we feel ourselves inside of ourselves, and that is neurological. And if we get hit in the head, we can have the discipline. We can feel as if, because of a head injury,
Throwing grenade.
feel like we're watching outside. That's neurological, right? The idea that we think of ourselves somewhere, the idea that
Ultra One,
our heart and our head is separation. Our heart
Ultra One,
is also in our head. Our heart is also in our head.
Yeah. So what is that difference, though? When you say, when people describe, my heart's saying yes, but my mind is saying no.
That's two parts of the brain fighting. There's two parts of the brain going, I want to do this. I feel that. But our desires, our wants, our intellect are all happening. It's just different parts of the same locale.
But art comes from the heart, though. You feel that. You know when something's good. You know when something, even if you're the one creating it or you're the one consuming it.
Well, it can, but check this out. Think about somebody who really they're happy they're happy just to hit a chord. It's a victory for them to play a major chord on a piano, and it shoots up their arm almost. They love it. And think about someone that's been playing piano from the time they're 3. It's their experience. Their experience of playing that same chord is vastly different.
Yeah.
It's vastly different. In fact, you think about classical musicians and the nightmare of what they have to do. They have to do this, they have to go through the competitions, whether or not, if they're a section player, whether or not they're going to be first or second or third chair. It's it's very regimented. It's a whole thing. So, especially if they come from a family of professional musicians that have expected to be blah blah blah, so their experience of music is it's a job. It's in another.
Right. That's a great point.
And you can't imagine if that hasn't been your experience, right? You can't imagine somebody playing that chord and it's bored. You know what I mean? They're bored. They don't. It's
That's a very, very good point. I think about this a lot too, and I think I heard you talk about this on another podcast I was listening to the other day. When you compared the people who do things because it's a means to an end versus they do it just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
And especially
One, we've delivered an item to a nearby dead drop. Secure it. Ultra One, Intel's tracking the position of a high priority target. Authority.
Planting mine! Attack me! Planting claymore! Suppression mine set!
Anything else, right? There are people who are chefs, and there can be short order cooks. That's about psychology. There's nothing to there's no judgment about it. There are people, they play well, and they're playing for the reaction. So they come up with incredibly dope stuff. What they're playing for is for the reaction. Some are playing for it. They don't care if people react. They don't care. They're playing with their idea is. And some of those people are looking for a feeling, and some of them
Ultra One, this is actual target KIA. Good work.
And somehow that thinking is part of their game, then maybe not a moment. There are people that they will know or they know it. That's what they do. And they feel they're thinking to them. But that's who they are. Now we make value judgments but in reality,
Ultra One, you've got hostile reinforcements incoming.
Excellence can come out of any of those. It's not like this person sucks because they're not feeling it. No, this is what Gretel do.
Ultra One, squad mate is down. You are taking effective fire.
Maybe they don't emote. The emotion sometimes don't hold stay flat, but that's what they do. Everything
Ultra One, your squad is scattered. Sticking together will help you survive. Ultra One, actual. UAV is on station.
and people react to it, and that's fine, right? You enjoy that, right? But them, other people, some other people, when they say, first time I saw a video, there's a video of Richard Pryor saying,
Ultra One, enemy threat is moderate near your location. Enemy attack helo is moving in your direction.
it's like,
Ultra One, we're seeing increased activity in the area. Stay sharp.
there's something about saying that, you couldn't handle the emotional. It's something, maybe they made you sing, maybe you were made to sing and it was very uncomfortable for you. Because it just made no sense that he had that much talent as a singer. And that when he was a comedian, he never imitated singers in his act. He didn't do impressions of singers. He just didn't do it. And I was thinking, this emotional space that Richard Pryor had I can't go there. And it's fascinating because there's something about it.
Is this the video? Go ahead, play it. Wow. How old was he there? He must have been young. Wow. What a voice. That's Where is this coming from?
Use this time for some target practice. Real thing's coming soon.
unbelievable. Un-effing believable.
All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
I want that bird ready in 3
Then I had
mics.
to, then I had to go, wait a minute.
We got the
What
green
is up?
light.
Then I
We're
start
going to the
going,
war zone.
okay.
Grab your gear and shoot. We're up in 3.
There's something
Enemy
about
activity will be
singing
high. Expect contact
that you
early and often.
clearly were very uncomfortable with it. It didn't make any sense to me
Let's get this done.
that he had that level of talent. I mean, because he's really serious.
Yeah.
Resurgence.
And it's not
Stay
just
alive
that
to
he's
keep your
hitting
squad
notes,
in the fight.
the vibrato.
Your team leader. Set a drop point for your...
But for him, he was much more comfortable telling jokes than singing. Clearly there's something about singing that he could not. It was too much for him. And he just, or he may have said, man, you don't really take me seriously, but it's kind of shocking when you see that and you go, you know, what it meant to hear it was revelatory, but what it meant for him was there's something else going on that he was like, you know what, I'm leaving that alone. I'm leaving that alone. And it's got to be something that's hidden in the past, what have you, his sense of himself. But it's interesting to see that. It's interesting to see somebody and realize, oh, there was a whole other level to who this person was. And that other level is also what made his comedy so powerful. There's a level of pain. Mm-hmm. Even like Nobody Wants You When You're Down and Out. Even the choice of that song and connecting to that. And they say comedians, the best ones, have a reservoir of hurt, and they present the exact opposite.
Yes.
And that to me is a very clear indication of what that is to me.
And not only that, it's the people that have gone through the most suffering usually are the most interesting people.
Yeah, man.
Not only talent, but they're just interesting to be around and talk to, and just they have like a different energy to them.
It's kind of fascinating. And so what we're doing now with these large language models and the kind of impacts that they're going to have, one of the things that's very interesting is how
Enemy soldier incoming.
How will they connect to us personally? Right? You know, like how will they? Because right now,
That could have been
there
bad.
are people interacting with them. I don't know to what degree they're getting to know people. This is where a lot of the quote-unquote danger, or we don't know what we're dealing with, we don't know what we're messing with. Because dealing with ChatGPT, it's like general knowledge. You estimate things. It doesn't plainly do it.
It's like a hyper advanced version of a sampler, of a sound sampler.
It's hyper advanced. Well, you know, like Siri was put out there as a digital assistant, and oftentimes all it does is that it goes and does searches, little searches.
Time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
It's really not good. It's really frustrating when it says what it can't do, what it can't do. I thought it was very interesting that they made Siri, they voiced Siri as a female. I think it was a misogynistic idea to put something out there and give it a female voice and not have it be more than a
5 seconds. Stand by to
They
deploy.
changed it. Like now they do.
Yeah,
They're
in
not
accents.
Yeah, now they changed it because at first though Siri was
Survive and your
only
team
female
can
voice.
redeploy. Eliminate targets
I've
to
never
bring
been
them
more
back
sexist
faster.
than when I talk
Your
to
team
Siri.
leader.
Hey man, I'm
Set a
calling
drop
all
point
kinds
for your
of
squad, soldier.
Get that way. Argue with you know what I mean? And you feel ridiculous. I'm fighting with you know, and she's like totally like passive aggressive. Well, I don't know.
Enemies dropping into the AO.
See how advanced it is. Because here's the thing.
You're back on station. Go get after it.
This technology.
Down to you, soldier. Stay sharp. Your squad mates redeploying. Well done. Hack contract phones to secure cash payments. Gas is moving.
It's got, and you know,
All right, your squad's in the safe zone.
all of the vast amount of data that thing can scan.
Damn, boy, it's going down over here. What the fuck?
First, like that, but I think about like these podcasts. If you think about how many of these podcasts like have been recorded every single day, like, online in the last 5 years, it's an insane amount. Like there's people out there who have podcasts that you can like probably say every single thing you could possibly say in the human language. Exactly. Right? Any human language, English, whatever it may be. And they can model, you know, take that.
Locate available contracts to hack. Get moving. Friendly Guardian is active.
That came out on Netflix about Andy Warhol. So there's a new Andy Warhol documentary that came out with
Loadout drop headed your way. Only 25 remain.
I guess it's a state, but you know they were essentially rewriting his legacy.
Well, and Andy Warhol, remember, Andy Warhol said everyone is going to and, you know, we have people, you know, that it's like me, it's kind of, it used to, when he said that, there were 3 networks. When he said that.
Drop points marked. XP boost inbound. Guardian lost power.
When did he say that?
Contract time is expiring. Activate those exploits. Less than 25, we're still
And that
standing.
eventually it would become so complicated. It's like, you know,
However, your fight's not over yet.
famous, you're only for 15 minutes. And that is, so what happens when your 15 minutes are up? That's, you accept.